know what you gotta do, but you're scared to do it. You know which bridge you've got to cross, but you don't want to get up to it.
For me, Jim Avett is one of those true friends. Following in the footsteps of many of his heroes, many of those whom he knew while they were here, he shares those things, both on stage and off. I count myself extremely fortunate, extraordinarily fortunate, to be able to share his music and his work with you, and I hope you enjoy it here tonight.
Traveling down through this world of woe, there is no sadness, toil or danger, to that fair land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father and all my friends who have gone on. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. Is dark and dangerous. I know my road is long and steep, but beautiful fields rise up to greet me, where God awaits and vigils keep. I'm going there to see my mother. She said she'd meet me when I come. I'm just going over Jordan. I'm just going over home. I'm just going over home. Most people know what they do. Most people know why it is that they do what they do. Most people don't know what it is they do does. Got it? You don't know who you're going to influence. I'm just hoping that this doesn't inspire anybody to quit trying. Y'all gonna be a rough crowd to work. Well, anyway, okay. What's changed? I've seen some of you before. I've seen many of you before. You really don't have any excuse for being here again. You know what is coming. Mostly I've gotten older. I was 70 month before last. And this is the first time I've gotten old. And I don't really know what I need to get fixed and what I need to just live with. And I come from a long tradition of just living with it. And besides that, most of the medicines that I see on TV, they make you dizzy, give you diarrhea, or give you death. And I don't think I care for any of that. So I'll just live with a lot of my stuff. What's changed? A parallel to that and getting older, up until about a year ago, I'd always bought 32-inch inseams. I'm going to buying 30-inch inseams now, which means I'm shrinking. If things keep going the way they're going, I would say that in another year or so, maybe 2 years, I won't have any legs. I'll just be, my butt will be around, dragging around on the ground. That's okay. That's the way it should be. I think somewhere in the Bible it says dust to dust, and yes, I think that's where we're going. Anyway, been to, I think I counted 41 states since I last saw you. 41 states. I met a man who had his leg shot off in an argument. And I asked him, he was a young guy, 30, 32. I said, what was the argument about? He said, it was over a Jeep. And I said, was it worth it? He said, oh God, no. And I said, I didn't have to have my leg shot off to know that. Another thing that's changed, we got a new gospel album. It's pretty good. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think it could be that good. We gave it to Seth, one of my sons. Gave it to Seth to finish this thing, and that was a mistake because Seth's got more going on in his life than anybody else. I have found the grave of my great-great-uncle who fought in the Civil War. I know where his other 5 brothers who all fought in the Civil War, I know where their graves are. I found the last one. That was a big deal. It was a big deal. To me, not to him. Randy Travis did a song several years ago called Oscar. And Oscar, I wrote a song you can get on one of my CDs. It's called Willard. It was about a guy that was in my hometown, kind of a strange person. Oscar was too, and whoever wrote Oscar, he did so much of a good job. I want to do this one because if I don't do it, you'll never hear it. And every town has somebody like this. Oscar was an angel. He used to walk the streets, shouting out some prophecy to everyone he'd meet. He was a local fixture, like a cop out on the beat. Folks said he'd been shell-shocked long ago. More than that, no one seemed to know. Oscar was a walker, seized 4 miles every day. The entire length of Main Street, he'd be shouting all the way. I had no idea where he heard the things he'd say, but his was not your normal voice of doom. It was a happy song, sung slightly out of tune. He'd say, everyone will die and go to heaven. We will all be angels someday. What you are in this world don't count for nothing. We are only children and we're lost along the way. We'll all be angels someday. Well, I worked at the Rialto. I sold tickets by the door. And Oscar, he'd come by each day around 4:30. He'd pay to see some movie that he'd seen 10 times before. But mostly we'd just let him in for free. He'd watch 5 minutes. He'd come and talk to me. He'd say, everyone will die and go to heaven. And we will all be angels someday. What you are in this world don't count for nothing. We are only children and we're lost along the way. We'll all be angels someday. Well, it's going on 10 years since I left my hometown. Went back late last summer for a week and hung around. I looked out for Oscar. He was nowhere to be found. Someone said they finally had to commit him. He died before they had time to forget him. And I ain't about to argue. Oscar's train hadn't jumped the track, but I'll bet my last dollar on a plain and simple fact. Oscar never said a word about me behind my back, the way that I was born to understand. That song made him a better man. And he'd say, everyone will die and go to heaven. We will all be angels someday. What you are in this world don't count for nothing. We are only children and we're lost along the way. We'll all be angels someday. How about that? I've got to be a grandpa 7 times. Scott's got 3, Seth's got 1, Bonnie's got 3. Oh, this is a fun deal because they get paid back. I heard this song long years ago, probably 25 years ago, and I didn't hear all of it when I heard it. Welcome. Thanks for coming. I heard this song and I really didn't get all of it, so I had to make up part of it. And my fear is that there's somebody here that actually knows this song, but I'm not scared enough not to try it. In a cabin no one ever sees in Nashville, my love of work and melody was born. My father's father played for me on a Martin Boss. Across his knees a mix of songs accomplished in bits and broken bar chords. I worshipped every foot of ground he walked on. I spent 7 boyhood summers by his side. It was up and down tobacco roads when the evening sun was sinking low, jawing across the table that glorious supper time. I'd say, Grandpa, get your guitar, let's sit out in the backyard, play the one about going away to that mansion in the sky. Then along after sunset, you can carry me up to my bed, laugh and call me Sleepyhead and sing me a lullaby. There's an ancient weathered rocker on the front porch. A spider web now hangs across the door. There's a million dusty memories to carry me back across the years. I swear I can hear his brogans walking across the floor. I'd say, Grandpa, get your guitar, let's sit out in the backyard. You can play the one about going away to that mansion in the sky. Then along after sunset, you can carry me up to my bed, laugh and call me Sleepyhead and sing me a lullaby. When we meet again up yonder on that bright and glorious day, I'm gonna wrap my arms around him, and this is what I'll say. I'll say, Grandpa, get your guitar, let's sit out in the backyard. You can play the one about going away to that mansion in the sky. Then along after sunset, you can carry me up to my bed, laugh and call me Sleepyhead and sing me a lullaby. You can laugh and call me Sleepyhead, sing me a lullaby. Singer-songwriter. There's some people sitting here. You've got some neighbors that aren't here. You need to take this to them. Creative people. I get asked more times than I should what I think about somebody's creativity, about their music. They'll send me CDs. It's my opinion. In art, there is no bad art. I like some things that you might not like, and you like some stuff that I don't. But I'm not going to say that your art's bad. It's different, okay? Success in music, like anything else, is a relative thing. If the rung in music is 100 rungs high, if you make it to rung 7, are you a failure? No, you're not, if you did the best that you could do. And anything less than that in whatever you're trying is not good enough. You can look around and see people that never even found the ladder. I don't play a guitar that well. I compare myself to some really good guitar players, and I'm not much of anything with it. But I raised some pretty good tomatoes, and I know a lot about cows, and I know a lot about this earth, and I know a right much about people. It doesn't hurt me that I'm not the best guitar player. I can live with that. To be successful in anything that you're trying to do, you have to be the first doing what you do. You have to be the best doing what you do. And anything less than your best is not going to get it. It is not going to get it. You can't do drugs and watch TV if you want to be the best that you can be. I don't care what age you are. I don't care your political affiliation. I don't care about any of that. I don't care if you're agnostic or atheist or whatever. These are the flat facts. I didn't make the rules up, gents. These are what the rules are. And if you want to be a success, truck driving, being a trash man, I want you to be the best that you can be. That's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to get satisfied. I've never done this song outside my music room, but I'm going to try it. I was reminded of it yesterday when I came down through Atlanta. I was not going to do it until I came through Atlanta and the bridge is out and I got to get out on 285. Several years ago, maybe 35 or 40 years ago, I sat in some traffic and I thought this out. And it took me that long to write this song. I decided I'd go to work for myself and not ride the roads that everybody else is going. That's what this song is about. Dead stopped in traffic late one day, thinking this is a heck of a price to pay to get in life where I want to go. Just think Jerry Reed. Well, I was sitting there jammed the matter I got, thinking why am I stuck in this spot? It occurred to me I wasn't going nowhere. So I shoved it in gear and spun out of line. That old gal who was sitting there behind, she must have thought that I was crazy as a loon. Well, I wasn't crazy. I'd made a plan. I'd work for myself and be my own man. I was going to quit riding the road meant for other people. My friends were shocked. They said through tears, you may end up after all the years with a job that ain't got no benefits. Well, I laughed at that as I thought it through. I think I can make up some better rules. I want to make my own benefits. The dreams I have don't fit other folks, and I may, in fact, end up broke, but right now I ain't rich in nobody's eyes. Well, everybody's scared to jump out of line. For me, I think it came that time I was going to shove it in gear and go where I wanted to go. It takes some guts and not a lot of brains to step out of line and do your own thing. I think I'll take a chance, be my own boss. Don't work out, well, there ain't much lost. I think I like being my own boss. But if I lose, big deal, I'll try it again. Give me life's dice, I'm ready to roll and drive the road and see where it goes. I'm gonna be all I can be. So I'll see you all down life's path. It'll take a while, but it'll all work out. I may be broke, but I'm gonna be happy. And not stuck in traffic. I'm gonna wave at that old woman running the wrong way. The worst thing can be is unhappy and broke. I already got that part down. You're going to get to enjoy a couple here that I've written over the years. I have 4 CDs out. This one, I like to write songs that make people think, that got room for thinking. I wrote a song called Decisions. You realize that every decision that you've made in your life up to now has brought us right here. It's pretty disappointing if you get to think about it. But anyway, the good ones, the bad ones, the ones you thought were the best decisions you ever made and things that you were thrown into, they have brought us face to face right here. Everybody gets to make decisions. You hope to avoid embarrassment, fatalities and such. Every decision has brought us right here. I made a decision one time, we were on the way to Alaska. Susie and I made the decision not to go to Fort McHenry, where I could have had a job. If I'd have gone, you realize we probably would have been eaten by bears, and you probably would have never heard of me, Susie, or the kids. The hardest part of making a decision is making the decision. You make it, and then you live with it. It's okay. Most decisions leave scars. They leave scars. The scars are either on the outside or the inside. Scars on the outside are easy to handle. They're an inconvenience. I know a guy who doesn't have any legs. He's a great guy. It's an inconvenience for him to get around. But he's a great guy. He's a whole lot better than a bunch of other people who have legs. The ones on the inside are the ones that are hard to handle. In a group this size, there's probably some people that are pretty scarred up on the inside, and you're doing really well to hide it and to deal with it. We don't get the choice sometimes. The decision is made by others to come piling into us at 70 miles an hour. God, why not? Why not somebody else? It wasn't somebody else, it was you. Live with it. I don't get to read poetry very often. But there is a line several lines out of the Rubaiyat. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on. And all your piety or wit can work back to cancel half a line, or all your tears wash out one word of it. It means that what you've done, you've done. Now let's move on. Let's not dwell on that. I try not to dwell on my weaknesses. I try not to dwell on things that I can't do anything about. I made that decision. Got to live with it. This is the lead guitar. I have a lead guitar or a daughter that goes with me and sings harmony sometime, and this is their part. You know what you gotta do, but you're scared to do it. You know which bridge you've got to cross, but you don't want to get up to it. For you there ain't no choice, it's the only way you can go. Be a whole lot better off if you just get on down the road, just get moving. You can't stay where you are any longer, it just ain't that way. I know you hate to pack your bags and don't look forward to the day. So you got to play the hand that you've got. So lay down your cards, get away quick. Damn boy, don't stop, just keep moving. Ain't no good way of doing this thing, you've run long enough. I know the road ain't gonna be smooth, it's probably gonna get pretty rough. But it's down to telling the truth, and that's something that you ain't tried. You'll find things getting better after everybody's cried. Lots of tears. So face the crowd and say your piece and hope they can live with it. That's all you can do, just walk away and say to heck with it. The game is on, you've got to play the hand that you've got. So lay down your cards, get away quick. Boy, don't stop, just keep moving. And it goes on for a little bit more, but we're going to try to get in as many as we can. I have a friend over in Baton Rouge. He and I, the extent of me seeing him face to face was maybe 8 or 10 months ago. We played Baton Rouge. I had never played Louisiana. And I told those people I didn't have anything against them. I just didn't know anybody in Louisiana to approach about playing. This guy was sitting on the back row, and he said, I write some poetry, I write some lyrics. He didn't know anything about any musical instrument. But he said, how do you get people in Nashville to listen to you? And I said, I don't go that route. I don't know how you'd get them to listen to you. People in Nashville are a little bit haughty for my way of seeing things. Anyway, I said, why don't you send me some of your stuff, and I'll see if I know anybody that might want to do anything with it. This is one that he sent me. When warriors get broken, they hold the pain inside. It's all part of training, part of a soldier's pride. Lord knows Mama tries to help him. What more can she do? Daddy's fighting a war in his head, and it's tearing him in two. Daddy brought the war home. We hear him fight it from our beds. We hear the screams from the battlefield, him crying for the dead. His purple heart on the dresser has more life than the one in his chest. Daddy brought the war home and he hasn't won it yet. He just stares out the window, his mind on his tours in hell. Firefights with the devil where no human should ever dwell. He's not fighting now for liberty, but for his sanity instead. I hear the battle raging each night in his war-torn head. He's seen blood fall like rain in his eyes. Mama sees the pain. She holds him tight through the cold night sweats, trying to keep him sane. His purple heart on the dresser has more life than the one in his chest. Daddy brought the war home and he hasn't won it yet. Daddy brought the war home. We hear him fight it from our beds. We hear the screams from the battlefield, him crying for the dead. His purple heart on the dresser has more life than the one in his chest. Daddy brought the war home and he hasn't won it yet. Writing love songs is easy. It's easy. Everybody's been in love. In every relationship, there's a dumper and the dumpee. And sometimes you get to be the dumper and sometimes you get to be the dumpee. A girl from Alabama, as a matter of fact, asked me about 2 years ago. She was 18, 19 years old. She asked me, she said, what should I be looking for in a boyfriend? So I made a list. She should be looking for somebody who's not a musician. And she certainly should be looking for somebody that's not a drummer or a bass player. Those people have their own plans. And if there are any out there, that's the way life is, according to me. This is just the way I see things. He should like country music. The old, before 1980. He should like that country music. He should own a pickup truck. But he should not own a pickup truck that has a bed liner in it because he ain't planning on doing much. That used to be true. I don't know how true that is now. He should own a dog. This one's kind of serious. If he's good to that dog, he'll probably be good to you. But if he doesn't treat that dog good, he's probably not going to do much with you either. And you don't want nothing to do with somebody who treats a dog bad. Pick on somebody your own size, folks. He doesn't have to necessarily like cats. I might add that in. I mean, cats are, this is an option. This is an option. You can like cats or not like cats. He should have a job, okay? Or at least prospects of having a job. I don't think that's asking too much. There's been a general loss of romance. Who opens doors for other people? Kiss their hand, say nice things to them. There's been generally a loss of romance, and I blame a lot of it on seatbelts. Before seatbelts, you know, she rode over there in your lap. And since seatbelts have come along, we hadn't had a lot of lap riding. Anyway, okay. I wanted to write a song, and this one is fairly, I'd say within the last 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I wrote this song. I wanted to write a song that was somewhat more up to date, to do with the way we communicate. Cell phones, everybody has a cell phone. And the only songs that I knew that had to do with songs were Just Call Lonesome 77203. Had our number changed today, although I hated to. 'Cause each time the phone would ring, they'd want to speak to you. And it hurts to say that you're not here with me. Maybe now old telephone will set me free. Or, put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low. And you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go. These were songs that I grew up with, so I remember them from a long time ago. We're dealing these days with the same commodity. Love is love in any way you throw it out there. We just don't communicate the same way. We talk on our cell phones, and I've heard people breaking up on the cell phone. God, would that be cold? You get a text message, I don't like you anymore or love you anymore. Anyway, I wrote this song like that. Maybe 3 weeks ago. We'll try it out and we'll see how this goes. Got a call late last night, it was you on the telephone, about a text I had left, wondering when you'd be coming home. It was late when I left those words, I wanted to be fair. You can come on home when you want, 'cause honey, I won't be there. I'm leaving you this message so that you can understand. I've had all this that I can take, it's gotten out of hand. Had more than I needed of some things that turned out bad, and a whole lot more than I wanted of some things that make me sad. If you'll just give me a minute, I'll get my stuff and go, 'cause waiting outside I've got a ride that'll put me on the road. Packed my bag and dried my eyes, and now it's time to start. Don't you know I'm good to go, just give me back my heart. It makes me sad to think that I have hung around this long, when I knew in my heart that things were going wrong. I hoped in time you'd change your mind and that you'd settle down. Now you know you'll be alone when you come around. If you'll just give me a minute, I'll get my stuff and go, 'cause waiting outside I've got a ride that'll put me on the road. I packed my bag and dried my eyes, and now it's time to start. Don't you know I'm good to go, just give me back my heart. Sang gospel all my life. I like old-time gospel. Somebody asked Arthur Smith what makes old-time gospel old-time gospel. Actually, he asked what makes Southern gospel Southern gospel. Arthur Smith, who was one of my heroes, he said there's two things. One, it has the highest highs and the lowest lows. And if you ever heard J.D. Sumner sing bass, or the Statesman, or Passel, right on down to the Oak Ridge Boys, those bass guys can get down there. They can get down there. The other thing that makes it Southern gospel is theologically correct. This is after my heart. Theologically correct. I'm not against new gospel. I'm against bad gospel. I'm not against new music in any form. I'm against bad music. And a lot of gospel that's coming out under the name of gospel is bad gospel. There's an old gospel that if I don't do it, you'll never hear it. So I'm going to do it. You can sing along anytime you want to. You can go to YouTube and see the gospel group on Hee Haw sing this. Grandpa Jones, I can still see him punching this one out. We are going down the valley one by one, with our faces toward the setting of the sun. Down the valley where the mournful cypress grows, where the stream of death in silence onward flows. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going toward the setting of the sun. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going down the valley one by one. We are going down the valley one by one, when the labors of the weary days are done. One by one the cares of life forever past, we will stand upon the river brink at last. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going toward the setting of the sun. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going down the valley one by one. We are going down the valley one by one, and my brother, you and I must go alone, but a tender hand will guide us lest we fall. Christ is going down the valley with us all. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going toward the setting of the sun. We are going down the valley, yes, we're going down the valley, going down the valley one by one. We are going down the valley one by one. I like Southern gospel. This song was written by Fanny Crosby. If you think you can't do something, this woman wrote 8,000 hymns and poems. She was blind. She lived from like 1810 to maybe 1905. 8,000, and she was blind. And I think that I've got handicaps. For God's sake, come on. Pass me not, O gentle Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art calling. Do not pass me by. Savior, hear my humble cry, while on others thou art calling. Do not pass me by. There's another one that I want to do that is on that album, the new album. This one was written by a guy by the name of Thomas Dorsey. Thomas Dorsey was a black guy. Made music in the 30s and 40s particularly. They called him Barrel House Tom or Texas Tom or Georgia Tom. White guys wouldn't let him go in their studio, so he started his own. He was the father of modern gospel, the structure that we accept. And the best gospel comes out of the Cokesbury or the Broadman, of this type of music. Thomas Dorsey was instrumental in all of that. He was in Chicago in 1932. He was working the music at a revival. His wife was back in St. Louis. She gave birth to a child. She died. He rushed back and held that little boy for 2 days, and it died. And he wrote this song. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my day is over and gone, hear my cry, hear my call. Take my hand lest I fall. Precious Lord, take my hand and lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. Powerful stuff. Steve Babin, the guy in Baton Rouge, wrote most of this. He had a sister that died 15 years ago from cancer. I had a sister that died 4 years ago from cancer. Susie had a sister that died 4 years ago from cancer. I got her call Sunday morning. She said there's nothing more they can do. I know how you worry, but your worrying days are through. The doctor gave me 4 weeks. I know time's not his to give. I'm not calling to talk about dying, but to say I'm gonna live. No more heartaches, no more suffering. Funny death's now my friend. It's bringing me before God's throne where joys will never end. I go to be with Jesus, my Redeemer, my best friend. His races run, his races run, and I'll leave on the morning wind. So brother, don't you cry for me, Lord, I'm going home. I go to sing with the angels, to dance before God's throne. I'm going to march with the saints gone by, never more to roam. Brother, don't you cry for me, Lord, I'm going home. No more chains left to hold me, there's nothing left to talk about. My faith has released me, I'll leave this world no doubt. I'm going to our Father's house, He's prepared a place for me. His Son's precious blood shed on the cross has given me the key. So brother, don't you cry for me, Lord, I'm going home. I go to sing with the angels, to dance before God's throne. I'm going to march with the saints gone by, never more to roam. Brother, don't you cry for me. That's cool. The best gospel doesn't always come out of the Cokesbury or the Broadman. Some of it comes from Randy. Talk with Jesus when I get home tonight. I'm gonna tell him all about my troubles, and I know he'll make it right. I'm gonna ask him for forgiveness for the things that I've done wrong. I'm gonna have a little talk with Jesus tonight when I get home. Life can be a struggle when you're living day to day. You'll run into the devil each step of the way. I've seen his face 100 times, he was trying to lead me wrong. But there's one thing that he don't understand, I don't walk this road alone. I'm gonna have a little talk with Jesus when I get home tonight. I'm gonna tell him all about my troubles, and I know he'll make it right. I'm gonna ask him for forgiveness for the things that I've done wrong. I'm gonna have a little talk with Jesus tonight when I get home. Jesus said he would go with me whenever I feel low. Anytime, place I needed him, he would gladly go. I know my life ain't perfect, Lord knows I've tried. He ain't never ever let me down, and this is the reason why. I'm gonna have a little talk with Jesus when I get home tonight. I'm gonna tell him all about my troubles, and I know he'll make it right. I'm gonna ask him for forgiveness for the things that I've done wrong. Have a little talk with Jesus tonight when I get home. I'm gonna have a little talk with Jesus tonight when I get home. We're closing in and we're in the short rows. When I asked how long, she said, as long as you want. When I asked somebody else how long, they said, an hour's enough. Well, anyway. There's a couple more I want to do for you. Usually, when I get to this point, I want to talk to you for a minute about what I've learned going down this path. Some things that I've learned in life, and some of the things are important. Some of them are not so important. I think Ecclesiastes talks about there's a time for everything. For being born, for dying, and the rest of it. One of the things that I've learned in life is when you go to buy something used, it's usually broke. Don't do that. That's a pretty important thing. I don't think that my generation did a real good job of teaching your generation the circle of life, that everything born dies. You're not going to win all of them. You're going to lose some of them, and some of them are going to be fatal. I think if you're looking for the truth only comes from a couple of things. The truth comes from the very young. When we were very young, it was before we learned what they wanted to hear. And we spent the rest of our life telling them what they wanted to hear. The truth also comes from the very old who just don't care anymore. The truth also comes from alcohol. And it comes from yoga pants. I don't know. Well, one of the things that I learned in life is the things that I was scared of weren't worth being scared of. Stand up and slap them in the face. They may hit you back, but hit them hard and get it in first. You won't regret it. It'll be good for you. The things that I was scared of wasn't worth being scared of. I made them a big deal. Another thing that I learned, gravity gets everybody. and everything. Another thing I've learned is I think as a society, we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And I think we're probably in the middle of the 1 step back for the last number of years. I think we've got a 1 step back going. Don't worry about it. I have great faith in the future. I ain't worried about it. It'll come around. It's just how long is it going to take for it to come around? One other thing that I've learned is the fiddler will be paid. If somebody's dealt unfairly with you, if they deal with others like they dealt with you, their teeth will be laying in the sidewalk. You may not be there to see that, but it will happen because they'll meet a faster gun, and you can rest assured what goes around comes around. I think my family is mostly average. I put average right on up there somewhere. I'm very happy with my station in life, where I am, but I don't think I'm much anything more than what average ought to be. The boys did a good job of this song. Where have all the average people gone? It's an old Roger Miller tune. You want to see it done right, go to CMT TV and go to archives and look up the Avett brothers. Scott and the band did a killer job on this. People in the city call me country because of how I walk and talk and smile. I don't mind them laughing in the city, 'cause the country folks all say I'm cityfied. Fighting men, they think I am a coward, because I never push no one around. Gentle people call me troublemaker, 'cause I always fight and stand my ground. Funny, I don't fit. Where have all the average people gone? Some pious people point and call me sinner, because to them I've never seen the light. Other folks, they think I am a preacher. Really, I'm just trying to do what's right. Wealthy people think I am a hobo, lean and hungry, writing mournful songs. And the poor people think I am a rich man. Really, I'm just trying to get along. Funny, I don't fit. Where have all the average people gone? And the government has given me a number to simplify my birth and life and death. Still, my woman thinks I'm awfully important, like the moon and the sun and sea and sky and breath. Funny, I don't fit. Where have all the average people gone? Johnny Cash had one more CD put out after his death. I think there were maybe 6 songs on it. This was one of them, and he did a good job. He was an old guy, and his voice was all gravelly and whatnot. If you live long enough, yours will get gravelly too. But Tom Paxton wrote this song. Tom Paxton would have sat in the first chair if he hadn't run off to England and married some English girl and stayed there for 20 years. He was a hot commodity in England. But Dylan came in and took over the first chair. This was back in the 60s. Tom Paxton had probably written 500 songs before Dylan ever got there. But this is one of the songs that he wrote. It's a long and dusty road, a hot and a heavy load. The people that I meet, they ain't always kind. Some are bad, some are good. Some have done the best they could. Some have tried to help me ease my mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I've been wandering through this land, doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be. Looks like they've been wandering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. If you see me passing by, and you stop and you wonder why, you wish that you were rambling too. Nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace them up and bar the door. Thank the Lord for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. No, I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. I can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Thank you so much. You've been good. Go find something good to do. Thank you.
To learn more about the events and artists featured on Art Walks, visit the Sarah West Gallery of Fine Art, East Alabama's destination for cultural arts enrichment events, continued fine art education, classes, and programs for all ages. Visit the Sarah West Gallery of Fine Art at thesarahwestgalleryoffineart.com. Like and follow us on social media.